So, yeah. So, back again for a second week in a row for some Pokemon Order and Chaos mapping, basically. So, last time I did this, last week, we did this map here, and also this map here, for something called Brine Valley. So, we're going to now do the next part of it, which is, I don't think it's going to be that big, to be honest. There's not going to be that much, but there's going to be a gym here. So, yeah, let's, so I'm going to get right into that right now. So, going to go, new map, going to call that Brine Valley, and that should be a fine tile set for it. So, first thing I want to do is go here, and if we go find out which grass tile that is, so I know that it will, here we'll have that, and then I'm going to get the gatehouse tiles, and I'm going to pop the rest of them on top of it, on top of that tile there. Just going to make sure that all correlates correctly. Yep. So next, going to put that tile down there, and that tile down there. Then I'm going to get all of these and fill the whole layer. So it'll look like that. Hello, Azulion Wings, am I pronouncing that right? Thanks for stopping by. Oh, I didn't mention. I mentioned this last week after my last live stream. I might do a little bit of Unity this week, as well. Not just completely RPG Maker. So obviously, like the first hour, for the first hour, I'll probably do this, but I might switch to Unity after half an hour. So yeah. Right, then I'm going to get the tree and go back here, pop it there. Then I'm going to get that and pop it there. Like that. Alright, at least I'm pronouncing it correctly. Yeah, I know sometimes, like, people have issues pronouncing things, and I'm definitely not an exception to that. Right, so I'm just going to expand this out. To 22. Put that there, and do that. So now it's a bit more even. Just thinking now. I'm probably going to have this kind of like another little valley area, so at the moment, like, up here on this one we come up the stairs and kind of come out of the dip, but here we're going to go back in the dip, if that makes sense. So if I just go get the cliff tiles, Obviously it's gonna take a little bit, a couple of steps first. But then after that, they kind of step into the dip. Right, so next, fill out some trees. So I'm probably going to move this up a little bit. And obviously, because this tree line's odd, because it is in here as well, I might have to just add a little break somewhere to make that a bit less awkward. So if I just grab a tree top and put it here, then I move these up like that. I can then put these there, and then if I just go back onto this layer and correct the trees, and correct these trees, then back onto Brine Valley, onto this bit of Brine Valley anyway, and that it looks terrible, but it has to be done, like in some way, because otherwise we're just going to end up like with some uneven stuff, and that's going to cause just a massive hassle. I think I'm also going to just move this out like that. Then I'm going to put these connectors in, and then the tops of the trees can come next. So now we've done that, probably best if just make sure these are even. I then start to expand the map a bit more, so I'm going to expand this by 10, and I'm going to move it right by 5. Then I'll fill out the grass. Also fill out the trees. And next I'm going to start adding some variants, because if it's a valley, this is being created naturally, so we don't want it to be too like we want it to look natural, basically. So I'm now going to expand this. I'm going to expand it by 10. I'm going to move it down 10, like that. Then just fill out the grass again. And there we go. So then obviously we're going to, again, add some variants here and there. Like that. Not sure how far I'm going to extend that up by. Might just do that. And then it can go back to how it was. Like that. So then for the other side, I might have it start coming up a bit more, like a bit quicker. So if I add a break here, and then start having it come up a bit more. Obviously I'll extend these up as well. Then I'll place some of these here. Like that. And then this can start coming up as well. So we've kind of got a little bit, so now we've started with a bit of a crater, or crater-like thing. I might just take away this break completely. Just move the trees up like this. And there we go. Obviously I want to put some trees down here as well. So I shall do that. So basically we're going to fill some of this space in with trees. We don't want every part of this crater to be explorable. Like, it's still like even after like a crater is made, or like water comes through and creates a gorge, it's still, or a valley, it's still going to it's still, like, trees are still going to grow afterwards. So yeah, we want to make it look a little bit natural in that respect. So just going to drop some trees here. Like that. Now I'm going to add some stairs in so the player can actually get down. Just make sure they match up, kind of. Keep forgetting how awkward I make the gatehouse tiles. But oh well. now that that's on layer 3, I can go get the path tiles. Start putting them here. What now? I think also I'm going to, quite prematurely, but add some water in. So if I just add those there. Filling these in. Didn't want that there. So now we have the startings of some water. I might expand this more. Kind of just have it around the outside or something. But yeah, so like like now we have the actually yeah, because everything's kind of off to the all the details of the map are off to the side, so the player's kind of just walking right through it, and I don't think that's good map design personally. So I'm going to start moving this out a bit more. I might have a bridge in some way or something like that. But yeah, I'm going to... I think I'll have it all the way up to here. So maybe here? Yeah. Just bring all of this out. And then we've got the pond here. Or not really a pond, it's more like a river. But yeah. Yeah. So then obviously going to add some way across the water. If I find where I put the tiles on this absolute mess of a tile set. I'll put it here, I think. And then now we well and truly have to start moving the tile set up a bit. Before I do that, I'm going to add one more tree in here, I think. Yeah, and I'm going to also take away this tree here. And start doing this. Let this come up here. Like that. think I might also bring the cliffs here back around, so if I just go back down to where it is, start adding that in. Then, yeah, like that. Right, so now I am going to bring this up more. So 35, move it down by 10. Yet again, select the fill tool, select the grass, fill in the grass, then start filling in everything else. So bring this up. Bring this up. Right. Now this is technically like a little town. So we are going to have some houses in it. The first thing I want is obviously the Pokemon Center. So on layer 3 I'm going to add that here, I think. And I'm going to put some trees behind it. Actually, I might expand, like, I keep saying expand, I might put the cliff behind it, actually. Now I'm going to move it back by 1. And, no, I think it looks fine like that, actually. Yeah. Next thing. A couple more trees here. I might actually add in some more cliff here as well. So if I just break up the trees here. Like that, and then if I break up the trees there, bring this up and around. So if I just take all of these away, put a treetop there, start putting some trees here like that, and then ooh, that's not going to match up, is it? Oh, that's irritating. Oh, I know why. Because this... Okay, so if I just bring this up here, move this up here, take this out, because then that gives us our little space between the trees that we always have, the treetops, like that. So then we'll just keep on with the treetops like that, with the tree connectors. Then I'll add this, put some trees around here, obviously bring this back in because it doesn't, because the Pokemon Center is obviously a bit Pokemon Center is a bit unevenly made. Let's say that is an uneven number of tiles wide. I'm not sure if I want it. We should probably have a Pokemart here. I might take out this tree now that I think about it. Instead of erasing that, I'll just drag it down by 2. So then I can have an item here, and then I'll just go and put a Pokeball there for later when I add events into this. That'll be probably off stream, I think. Okay. I'm going to expand this again. So 45, move it down by 10. Fill in everything. Okay. Going to bring the cliffs back in here. Like that. I haven't done that much with this side in a while, so I'm going to... I think I'm going to bring them out again at this point. And I'm just going to take this line of trees out for a minute. I'm going to put the Pokemart on top of a perch here, so bring this up here, put some stairs on this. So it looks like that. Next, like, I don't just want the Pokemart here, I kind of want this to start kind of connecting up here, so we kind of circle off the valley a little bit, or the crater, I'll call it. So instead of closing this off here, I might actually bring it back around. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do actually. So, that's the first layer. So now we've got this, I'll go to layer 3 and just add the treetops here and here. So I think that looks pretty good at the moment. What I'll do next is at the bottom of the tree here, bring this up like that. No, actually, I'll keep that there. What can I fit in here? I'll put some houses in. Yeah, I can fit a house there. So put 2 houses there. Or I'll put them right next to each other. Take out this bit. Bring these over like that. And then just do that. So then they're a bit more snug. I think that looks fine that way. Next, the Pokemon kind of needs to be put in now. So back on layer 3. I'll put the Pokemon there. And I'll have some trees coming back. Actually, maybe not. I think at this point I'll also have some cliffs behind it. You know what looks better? Definitely that. So that's good. I can just cut off the trees there. So add the trees here like that, and put the treetops on here now. Then if I just put this up by another 10, so to put it to 55, move it down by 10, fill in the grass. I think I'll put the gym in finally. If I can find the tiles I made for it. Where are you? There we are. So in here we'll put the gym like that. Oop, that should be on layer 3, not on layer 2. Next I'll put the cliff behind it. I'll put the cliff up a bit more. Yeah, that looks fine. And then have it come back down. irritating. Although that was... the odds are that was going to happen. Not sure what to do about that. Actually, I have another idea. I will bring these cliffs down. Like this. I just get rid of the cliffs here. Maybe if I shift this a little bit as well. Up here. Next I'll start connecting these bits up. But then the trees are going to get a bit uneven as well. That's irritating. In that case, I'll just have to expand this out like this. Put this here. Where did I put that signpost tile? There we go. Just put that there. And then I'll bring these down. Take one of these houses, put them up here, erase this one, and add some stairs in. I'll also fix this bit. So then when I go and get these, I can put that there, bring this up, and put these here, like that. I think that looks alright. I think this here looks really tacky. I don't like that, but I think this map's starting to come together a bit. I'm also going to add a signpost, just a big signpost here. Right, back to layer 2 so I can start putting some pathways around here. Yeah, so I'm going to put a pathway up here. I'm also going to bring the path. I'm going to take off the pencil tool, it's starting to annoy me now. Bring the path up here. Then I might move, now that I've put the path down, I think I'm going to move this signpost as well. It's currently there. Yeah, I think that looks alright. Just going to bring this here. I'm going to put a tree there, I think, as well. I'll then bring the path up. Like that. I think that looks good, personally. At the moment, we haven't added much detail to the map yet. I'm going to add another tree up here. Something like that. Not sure what to do about this blank space up here, actually. I'm not going to add another path to it. I think that's just going to make it look bad. I could bring the gym forward a little bit. I think I might do that, actually. That'll bring the tree line down a bit as well. That'll also let me bring this down. Yeah, I think this looks good so far. Flowers next. So if I just start adding a couple. Yeah, I think that looks alright. What do you guys think of this map then? I think it looks pretty alright. The next order of business, I guess, is to start adding in connect it to the previous map, and just I also need to work on these boundaries here, because we'll clearly be able to see off the end of them. So I think what I'm going to do is make this 42. Move it right by 5. Select the paint bucket tool. Fill in the grass. And also fill in the tree line. Oop, that wasn't meant to happen. Take all of this. And fill that in there. And do the same for this bit. Oop, for this bit. Then I'll take this. Might move this down a bit as well, so if I then add these connecty bits. Fix that in a sec. There we go. What else do I need to do? I need to take these bits and fill them in here. Yeah, I'm thinking that looks alright. So let's boot this up. Let's hit new game. So we've been brought, by default, we've been brought here. I didn't turn the running shoes on, but that's fine. So if I just walk all the way up here, like this. So we're brought here, then if I just quickly hit F9, I think it's in information options. Yeah, edit map connections, add another map, so I'll add this. Oop. Just fish that out from under there. Right, and then start bringing this up here and plonk it there. Right, so now if we come up here, I'm just going to go along here, make sure this adds up, which it does, very nicely. So yeah, now we can come down these stairs, collision, all the tile collision works, thankfully. I need to fix that. Obviously I need to add the doors in. Yeah, I think that's all looking alright, aside from obviously this gap here. That's irritating. But yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that actually. I think the map looks quite good. I might go back here and do some stuff. Or I might leave it, I'm not sure. I think I'm going to change some things on this map, actually, now that I think about it. Actually, I'm not going to take these out, I'm going to move them down. Then this started. Oh, what time is it? It's 7:56. This started about 56 minutes ago. Did I get the time? Did I get the time zones wrong? Yeah. Butt juice. Did I get the time? Did I get the time zones wrong? What time is it where you are? Oh, right. Fair enough. Yeah. Well, I get class takes precedence, I guess, but yeah. Regardless, welcome to the stream. I've done one map so far. Like, I'm thinking I've come back to this map to just change a couple of things. I'll show you the map that we just did in a second. Okay, I did get the time zones right. Whew. I was like, that's one of my biggest flaws, I think, getting time zones wrong. Okay. Alright. Yeah, I always put EST and PST on my time thing, just for the sake of like convenience for everyone else. Like, because not most people don't know BST. So yeah. But yeah. So then I'm just going to bring this tree line down here like that. So now this pond isn't quite so straight as it used to be. Right. The next thing I might do is I didn't realise last time, but this bit here is extraordinarily straight. Extraordinarily straight, considering this is meant to be a more natural area. So what I'm going to do is... Alright, hope you enjoy your food from Subway, Butt Juice. Yeah, I'll still be here, like, I plan on streaming for another hour, so, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to just delete all of this bit here. And do this bit like that. I might just fill this gap in with trees. The lazy thing to do, but yeah. Then obviously put the tree there, and put the tree top there. Okay, yeah. I guess I'll post the updated map on DeviantArt after this stream has ended. I think it took me 2 days to do that last week, but oh well. Yeah. Like, I want to add more cliffs here, like I did with this map here, but I just don't want to at the same time. Like, what to do? I think I'll just leave that map the way it is. I'm just thinking of what I should do here. I might also add in the... Just move this gym map into here. This is all going to be redone because this is terrible, and the tiles here are really old. So yeah. Then I think I'm going to bring this out. Bring this out. Obviously you can't see the map editor over here, so I'm kind of just speaking to myself in a way. Ignore this. Ignore that heading because it's redundant. I'm not doing anything to do with Hoenn in this game. Brine Valley. Just so it's a little folder for all of the maps. And that's the old Brine Valley. I'm just going to drag that out so it just stays there. Right, next I'm going to go to Old Oak Town because I have made some changes. I did this like a couple of weeks ago, but I made some changes to the lower part of Old Oak Town and added the ferry port in, and I also added this bit in here. What's this? Oh, that's my debug item. Right. And so I'm going to copy this map, and I'm going to just come back to Brine Valley and plonk it here. So, firstly, next I'm going to rename this Brine Valley, for obvious reasons. Next, I'm going to change this event here to point, as you can see all the names of the maps here now, to here, like that. And obviously, if I just go back up to Old Oak Town, I'm going to take this event here, and I'm going to plonk it here, because that's the entrance. So again, I'm going to bring down all of this, Brine Valley, and plonk it there. Right. Oop. Next, I'm going to edit this event. So, if I have the ferry ticket, then obviously it's going to let me through, and I'm going to change this here to let me go out of here. Like that. I'm then also going to add a little event here, so I can go in here, like that. I'm also going to, I'm not actually away, I'm just going to, because I don't want people seeing the tile set obviously, so I'm just going to go and edit the tile set permissions of the fences, because the last time I streamed this, the fence, I could just walk through the fences, and I do not want that at all. Right. Now, now that's done, I think we should be ready. Hey Buttjuice, yeah, that's fine. Hi, welcome to the stream. If I just show you the map that I made while in during the first hour, here we are. Yeah, nothing much, but keeps freezing the stream. It might be because of my end. My Wi-Fi hasn't been that great in the past couple of days. I wouldn't be surprised if my stream keeps dying, although no one's said anything, so I don't know. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if my internet is the reason for that, not yours. Plus, also the Twitch app isn't that great, I'm told. But yeah, so right, I'm going to test this now. So, new game, it's going to take us to the middle of nowhere. I need to add a gatehouse in between these two maps, so obviously I can't go in here yet, so I'll just pass over it. But, also really helps if my computer doesn't decide to click off of the window. So, now can't pass through these fences here, which is good. I don't want the player to be able to. I don't know why it keeps on clicking off my thing. That's annoying. But yeah, so we can come through here. I can't sail without a ticket yet. Okay, I'll go grab the debug item here. I obtained a ferry ticket. Then I'll just move through here. So here I am. Obviously I haven't set the movement permissions for the ship yet either, but yeah. So obviously if I come back here, you can see all of that. I'm not going to go in through the original. I'm going to come back through here because otherwise it's going to screw things up, because it'll do that. So that works nicely, just the way I wanted it to work, which is good. So yeah, and I think honestly that's pretty much everything I wanted to do for Pokemon Order and Chaos in this stream. The next thing I do with Pokemon Order and Chaos will be like some kind of announcement. I'll do an announcement for Order and Chaos before I do anything stream related with it again. Also, I do want to do some Unity stuff, because I do find myself doing more Unity than I do this these days. I just have more of a passion for it. Not to say that I'm gonna stop developing this. I am still very much developing this. But yeah. So, what else? Obviously, I'll redo this gym at another point because I want the gym to be a surprise for everyone. And this quite frankly, this is absolutely terrible. I don't like it at all. The tiles are old, and yeah, just I've got new tiles. I just need to update them. Plus, for all the gyms, I've been revamping them. So, like, the first gym is exactly the same because it's only a normal type gym. But the second and third gym are going to be completely revamped. Like, in the last demo, the gym in the fire gym in the last demo, I think that was the third one. The puzzle was just you had to duel a robot 3 times, but this time it's going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a lot more flashy, shall I say. The ice gyms had a nice revamp as well. I won't show it on stream, obviously, because I want it to be a surprise. But yeah, so I think that's everything I wanted to do in this stream. That's everything I wanted to do for Order and Chaos anyway. So I think I'm going to now hop on to Unity and start doing some Unity stuff. So yeah, if I just quickly load up Unity. Right, and now, if I come back here, So now I have Unity up. As you can see, I also have this little project here as well. So yeah, this is a little. I've been trying to do a turn-based battle system for a while, and with no kind of success. But this, I did this a bit earlier today. I did made a start on it anyway. I might make this publicly available at some point. Basically, there's an enemy here, which is getting all of its stuff from this little file that I've made. So when I start the project, it will load what is it? The enemy has a slime thing here. I just got this from RPG Maker MV, but so obviously you can see here it's just a square with a red outline. But when I boot it up, it actually appears as a slime, and also if I click on the enemy here, you can see that all these stats are currently 0, apart from the level obviously, and it hasn't got a name, it has no sprite, anything like that. But when I load it up, all the values get set automatically, so it loads everything in quite nicely. So now I need to do that with the player. So I think what I'm going to do is if I just the window is incredibly weirdly sized. Don't know why that is. Right. So now that I've got that, I will find where's my RPG Maker MV folder. I'll just take some more stuff from there. So if I go into this folder, right, then down here I'm going to create a folder called players, and I'm going to just drag this into here. Now because this is Unity, this is a bit different, so I've got to actually I've got to format everything correctly. So this is a sprite, so it now has a blank background. I'm also going to drag a couple more enemies in as well. So if I just... Hey Buttjuice, welcome to the stream officially again. I don't know if you saw the RPG Maker stuff. I'll quickly go back to it. Did you see the fight, did you see the map that I made as well? This is the map that we made on today's stream. And I also added some functionality here, so I made a little, added this in. It'll let you through if you have the ticket and stuff, or if you have the right ticket and that. Oh, thank you. I try. But yeah, so back to Unity. I want to add in some more stuff, so I will just add in what do I add in? I'll add in an orc, I think. I'll add in an ogre as well. So if I just format these as sprites, so now they'll have nice transparent backgrounds. Then I'm going to go into scripts, enemies, and in here I'm going to create a enemy item or object or file or whatever. So that's going to be ogre. Obviously this is going to be called ogre. And the sprite is going to be the ogre sprite. Base health, I think I'm going to make it 6, and this will be 5, 3, 2, 3, 4 for all of those. And then I'm also going to make a orc. And again, I'm going to click on the orc. This is going to be a orc. What did I set the values on the other one? Ogre is... So this would be... I'm going to make the orc slightly weaker than the ogre. So 4, 2, 1, 2, 3. So I think everything, all of the values are on fewer than the previous. So and just like that, I will, if I go back here and change this slime into orc, then it'll load in the orc, although it's kind of below the ground at the moment. I will have to fix that, obviously, but it loads in all of the stats nicely, and then like if I made it level 50, then obviously the stats would be higher, but they're not. But they're not meant to be. So I'll put that back to level 5. Then if I change this to ogre, obviously this is going to be an ogre. So yeah. The next thing I need to do is, like, in this project, so if I just open up enemy handler, I need to move some of the stuff out of the battle, like out of this turn-based controller script, and into like other classes, so that it all gets cleared up. So, right, where is it? I'm also going to start adding some comments as well. Function for the player's turn process. Yeah, I am planning on making a game in Unity. I've been making a different game in Unity, but for this one I've been trying to do a turn-based. I want to do a turn-based game, but I don't want to use RPG Maker for it, to be honest. Like, I'd rather build something from the ground up, so that's what I'm doing here. So function, if I could spell right, function for the enemy turn process. I'm also going to take this script here and I'm going to move it into enemy handler, which is where all of the stats get set. Yeah, indie deving. I start a new job on Sunday, and it's nowhere near the games industry at all. It's the farthest. It's further away from the games industry than ever before. But you know, inside this, I'm probably going to have to get some stuff as well. If I just... I'm going to bring this down here because I don't want this to be public, I want this to be private. So if I go private, sprite render, I'm also going to add some stuff in here. Just private variables, if I can spell right. I'm also going to go private turn-based controller TBC, which is a reference to to this script here. So then if I go in the start function, I go get the turn-based controller component in the scene. So then go tbc equals get component, equals find object of type turn-based controller. Alright, take care, man. I'm not sure if I'll be here in the next hour. I might stream for one more hour, I'm not sure, but I usually start getting tired, like around this time I start getting quite tired, so I'm not sure. But yeah, take care, man. Have fun with whatever you're doing. But yes, so we're going to get the turn-based controller in the scene there, and then in here we're going to go tbc dot play health. Alright, cheers, man. Have a good one. And then in here we go tbc dot turn state. So next we want the damage to be, I might actually zoom in a little bit, because yeah, I just realised on OBS how small this looks to everyone else, like, yeah, so I'll zoom in a bit. But yeah, so generate the damage value. So we want a random range between 1 and I'll say 50. No, I'll say 20. Then I'm going to add 0.3f times the level times the attack value, base attack. We also need to bracket all of this off and go mathf.round to int, because we want this to, because this needs to be an integer basically. So now this is going to do a damage percentage equal to the base attack of this enemy times the level times 0.3f, like times 0.3 time added on to whatever this random integer is here. I might actually multiply it. I'll multiply it and see how that goes. Then if we go back to turn-based controller, we're obviously going to have an error being thrown up here because this doesn't exist in this class anymore. So what we're actually going to have to do is go into enemy turn. No? Why not? Make this public, and then go back. If we go back into here, that is all fine. I'm going to zoom out a little bit because it's a bit big for me. So that is all good. I'm probably going to go and test this now. So I'm going to change this back to a slime. Because that's easy. And so if I just press space, I'm going to do some damage, and then I'm immediately being killed. I'm also going to add a debug.log so I can see what the thing is doing, what the code is actually doing, and I'm going to log damage so I know how much is being dealt to me. So I just got dealt 102 damage, so obviously that's not good. So I'll add that instead. And then this time, when I attack, I'm being dealt 18 damage instead, which is a lot better, I think. Now, I'm also going to go up here. I'm going to start splitting this off as well. Sectioning it off. Public, variables, I'm going to go public, player handler, player. Now player handler doesn't exist yet, so what I'm going to do is go and create that now. It's going to be handled a little bit differently because the player is not a file. It's a little bit more complicated than that. So if I go into stats, player stats, I just need to remember because some of these scripts were done a lot longer ago. Yeah. Okay. Right. Onto the player. Firstly, I'm actually going to replace the player. So I'm going to go, because I want this to be a 2D RPG. 2D object, sprite, which I'm going to reset the transform. Then I'm going to make it 0.5 high, and I'm just going to move it over here. For the time being, I'm going to give it this sprite, flip the Y, and call this player. I'm also going to give it the player tag because it is the player. Just move it up here. I don't have anything on this cube, so I'm just going to delete it. And in the game manager here, where there is the turn-based controller, I'm going to add the... actually, I don't need to. I don't think so anyway. No, I don't need to add anything. Yeah, I do actually. I need to go back into the script to turn-based controller, and instead of player handler... hold on a minute. Yeah, instead of player handler, what I actually want is character stats. So if I go back there, go back to here, it's going to appear here. And if I go onto the player and add character stats like that, I'm going to just move this up a little bit like that. So it looks like that, and then what happens here? This is getting the enemy health. Yep. So this is going to get the player dot current health, and that's going to be out of player dot max health. So if we go back here, hit play, and then what's happened here? Because I cannot see. Nothing's being put on the player or enemy thing. Did I? Are those added? They are added. Yeah. So they are referenced. So why is nothing happening there? Oh, that reminds me. I didn't get that from the player either. So player equals find object of type character stats. So now if I wait for that to compile, hit play, there we go. So I now have 100 health out of 100 health. Unfortunately, at the moment, this isn't hardwired up to my health anymore. The what the enemy does is not attacks with how the enemy attacks is not hardwired up to my health. So if I just see down here, there is a function called take damage. Right. Okay, so this is actually not going to be dot player health. This is going to be tvc dot player dot. So we're going into the turn-based controller and then going into the player. Dot current health. cannot be used in this context because the set accessor is inaccessible. Hold on, don't need this up. I'm just going to take out this private set for a minute. So now if I go back into here, it should be fully accessible, and damage is going to be inflicted to him. Right. So now damage is being inflicted to me. Right. Now, if I go back into turn-based controller, I'm going to change this from player health to player dot current health, and take this away as well. I'm actually just going to take out player health completely now, and just see what that screws up. At the moment it is not screwing anything up. I'm also going to zoom in for everyone else. So I'm just going to player's health, and this one's going to be up. Check the player's current health. I also am checking the enemy's current health. Don't know how I can screw up spelling that badly, but oh well. So now that I've done that, actually, I can take out this enemy health thing as well, because prior to this, I changed all of that to use the enemy, like, the actual enemy's health in here. But yeah, so this is redundant. Enemy dot enemy dot base health minus equals damage. So from the base health we are subtracting the damage. So if I go back into here, wait for it to compile, and then hit play, obviously we can see enemy has 6 health here, and I've knocked it out in one hit because it's now down to 0. So I'm actually going to take this bit out here. I'm going to take this function out completely. Just put a summary there so I can, when I go back, I'll do that. And I'm going to add this in here. So when the spacebar is pressed, so in enemy handler, I think I got the, yes I did, I got TBC. So I'm going to put this in here as well. So if I just go private variables, put that in there. in the scene. I'm also just going to paste this. Oh, just going to paste this back in here as a vault. This game object. Right, now back down here we're going to go tbc.enemy.base health, and we're going to go tbc.turnstate equals to turnstate equals turnstate enemy turn. So if we go back, there is an issue somewhere. Player turn does not exist in the current context. You're right, it does not, because that is in player.playerturn. And again, I need to go back in here and make this public so it can be accessed from outside. Then, if I go back, all of these errors should be fixed. So then, if I hit play, and I hit the spacebar, there is an issue now. Yeah. I haven't actually assigned the turn-based controller. That's the issue there. So if I go into start, get the TBC, get this line here, and copy it into the start function here, and then go back and hit play, and then hit the spacebar. We've dealt some damage. I'm probably going to debug, put a debug log somewhere on how much damage we are dealing, because we seem to be knocking it out in one hit still. Granted, we are probably dealing more damage to it. So, yeah, we're doing between 5 and 35 damage, which we don't want to do yet. We don't want to do up to 35 damage. We want to do damage in accordance with the level of the player. So I'm going to up here put public int level, and that's the player's level. So going back here, if I go into, I can shut off the canvas, player, just going to make that anyway, the player, that's also meant to be 0.5 high. Oh, no, it's not actually. If I make that 1, 0.1, 2, 3, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 3. Yeah, 1.3 high. Right, and the level is level 5. So we're also going to go in here, get this damage formula, and we're going to paste it in here. So we obviously don't have a base attack yet, but we do have a attack stat. So I'm just going to change this. Okay. attack dot get value. Okay, so once again we go back. Hit play. Deal some damage. And we're dealing some nicer damage than we were prior to this. Now, the player's health isn't actually that... No, the enemy health, should I say, isn't actually that high. If we look here, it's only 6. So I might actually have to raise the base stats a little bit, or something that I will do, I'm going to go into the enemy handler and I'm going to change how the stats are modified according to the level. So I might actually go I'm going to go 0.6. And I'll see how those go. The attack is currently 0, I think, if I remember correctly. Oh, the attack of the player. If I change that to 5, let's say, like, okay, OBS says that my connection is good, so yeah, it's definitely not me, unfortunately. Sorry about that, yeah. I'm also going to go back and in this debug log I'm actually going to add in something. So this is player dealt and in enemy handler I'm going to also paste this, so enemy dealt damage value of damage, so I can actually see who's doing what. So players dealing 10 damage, enemies dealing 10 damage, player dealt 24, enemy dealt 10. I think the formula needs to be revised a little bit for this. Either that, or I'll just I'll just make the. I think for the time being, I'm actually going to make the slime have. I'm just going to make the slime have a lot more HP, because this is getting a bit ridiculous. So I'm going to have the base health as 50. How is that going to look? So it's got 53 health. So if I attack, it goes down to 27. Goes down to 3. And then it goes down to 0. So, next, in the enemy handler, I'm also going to do, if I go back into turn-based controller actually, so next I need to start moving these functions here out. I don't actually want them in here, they're just cluttering up the place. Plus they can be handled by the enemy handler class or the character stats class. So I'm actually going to move this out, and into here. Oop. Into the update function. So this doesn't need to be here because this is in its own class. ET enemy, what did I call it? TBC, that's what I call it. TBC dot player wins equals true, and I'm going to move the enemy feint function out of function for handling the end when turn ends. Just get that out of the way. I'm going to move this function out of here and into the enemy handler class. Function for when the enemy is knocked out. So then I'm actually going to move this here into here, and I'm going to take this function and I'm going to put it here. So it's constant. Every frame it's going to check. It's going to call this function, which is going to check the base health to make sure it's not less than, to see if it's less than 0. And if it is less than 0, the set the health to 0. Set the player win to true, and don't need to call this function anymore. We're going to destroy game object, which is so we're going to destroy the game object that this script is attached to. So just function check the in here. Don't need this open. Yet again, we are going to take all of this and pop it in here. Then we're going to cut it from here and going to put it in character stats. And there's already a function here, but I'm going to overwrite it. Yeah, so I'm going to get this, and it's going to be called in the update function. Don't need this. Player feint. That's just going to be see if the player's been killed. Down here, don't need this. Don't need this. TBC dot player wins equals false, and the player. Then we're going to destroy game object. So then if we go back into here, we'll have everything compile, clear this, and then when we play, it loads in the slime, obviously. Then we attack, we attack, we attack, we attack. It's gone. It dead. And if I go into the game manager, it says we've won. We won in 4 turns. So next I need to go into the turn-based controller, and I'm going to create a function called void win condition. And in it we're going to check to see if player wins is true, and if it is, then turn state is going to be equal to turn state dot end battle. So we're going to shift to the end of the battle. Function for when player wins, for when the player wins / loses, else. Actually, I'm going to have a parameter in here, which is a boolean, and I'm going to call it condition, and then I'm going to set condition there. Actually, nah, not going to do that. In fact, all we're going to do in here actually is go turn state end battle. Actually, screw all of that. We're going to go in here, when enemy faints, we're going to go to turn state end of battle. So tbc dot turn state is equal to turn state end of battle, and we are going to do the exact same in here. So then we're going to go up to here, and in turn states.end battle we're going to call a function, so when called win condition, which is here, like this. Right, now in here, I'm going to go debug.log player has won. And in here we're going to go player has lost. So now, attack, 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 player has won. As you can see here, it says player has won, and in here you can see it's end battle, and here you can see player wins. Obviously if we boot up again in 3 turns this time, thinking. The turn count still needs to increase when we go, because that's still technically a turn. So I'm actually going to take this as well and put it in win condition. Check to see if the player has won/lost. When the player wins and when the player loses. Right. Now, there is another thing I want to put in here before I finish off this stream, because it's just gone 9 o'clock, so I have where I am, so I have been streaming for approximately 2 hours now. Up here, we have turn states, start turn, and as you can see, as I have commented up here prior to starting the stream, we want to determine who moves first. So what we're going to do is we are going to go and compare the player's speed to the enemy's speed. So if player dot speed, I don't have a speed stat in the player at the moment, so we're going to make one. So if I go up here and if I just change that to a C, speed stat, and change this to speed. Right. That's going to be a lowercase s. Now, so now we're going to go player dot speed dot get value is greater than enemy dot base speed. We are then going to determine who moves first. So, mine's going blank. We're going to move this up into the function, or into the if statement. So if the player speed is greater than the enemy speed, then we are obviously going to go into the player turn first. Then we're going to go else if and take this whole statement here, everything in it, but we are going to make it less than enemy speed. So if the player speed is less, then obviously get rid of all this excess space. So yeah, if the player is slower than the enemy, then we will go to I'll also change this, so player moves first, and in here enemy moves first, and as such enemy turn. But if there is a speed tie, if the player and the enemy speeds are the exact same value, so if they are equal to one another, then it is a complete gamble. So I am going to go int rand equals random dot range from 0 to 1. And if rand equals 0, then we're going to let the enemy move first. No, we're going to let the player move first, sorry. And else we're going to let the enemy move first. So I'm just going to copy that from there, put that here. Temp random int. Check the value of the temp int. So yeah, so that should let us know who's going to move first or last. So then here we are going to I'm going to have another bool for the time being. Public bool player moves first. Actually, no. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go. What I'm going to do is go in here and go public bool taken turn. True if the player has taken their turn. Right, so we are also going to put this in the enemy handler up here. But we're obviously going to change this to enemy. And in here, no, not in there. In here, we are going to go after this, we're going to go player no, taken turn equals true. And the same is true of enemy handler. So down here we're going to go turn taken equals true. Now, next we're going to go tbc dot enemy dot taken turn so just going to put that in brackets. Turn state dot end turn. So turn states is going to be equal to one of these two depending on what this value is. If this is true, then it's going to be this. If it's false, it's going to do this. So it's going to go to the enemy turn. Then the exact same is going to be done here. Except here, this is going to be changed to player. Now, in turn-based controller, at turn end, when the turn state is end turn, we're going to call this function here called turn end, and we are going to reset the the turn taken values in both enemy handler and character stats. So we're going to increase the turn count by 1, as we've written there, and we're going to go player dot taken turn equals false. So we're going to reset turn taken for the player, and we're also going to reset turn taken for the enemy. So, this should hopefully work very nicely. So currently the player's speed is 0, as you can see here. So obviously the enemy is... Oop, what happened there? Something has gone wrong. Oh, that's why. Player turn. Because otherwise it's constantly the enemy's turn. So I've just taken 11 damage. In the game manager, it is. If I just. So, it was very brief, but I saw it say player turn, enemy turn. Sorry. So, I am going to before I do anything else. I am going to add a little debug log up here. Start turn if players. Debug.log player moves first. Enemy moves first. Player moves first. Enemy moves first. So, if I let that compile and start again, it says enemy moves first, enemy dealt 14 damage, then I'm going to attack, then enemy dealt 20 damage, all of that. So now, now if the player, how much is the enemy going to have? So if I just make the base speed 10 for the player, then player moves first, as you can see down here. So I'm going to attack, I'm going to attack again, I'm going to attack again, and the enemy is going to be knocked out and the player has won. Now, I am then going to set it to 6, because that's what the enemy is always going to have. Player moves first. If I start it again, player moves first. Player moves first. It's making it so the player always moves first. I might have done something wrong. Yeah, I think I've done something wrong. If I just go back to wherever it was, random.ranged int min int max returns a random integer number between min inclusive and max exclusive. So it's always going to be 0. So if I go 2, so it'll then we should hopefully see that approximately 50% of the time, give or take, the player will move first. Player moves first. Player moves first. Enemy moves first. Enemy moves first. Player moves first. Enemy moves first. So out of those times, approximately 50% of the time, the player moves first, and approximately 50% of the time, the enemy moves first when there is a speed tie. So there is a 50-50 chance that for either of these two to outspeed one another if there is a speed tie. So, I think that is going very nicely for the turn-based controller. I know I didn't start it from scratch, but I think it's going alright. I might publish the source code, obviously. If you want the source code, then I'll probably post the link up on my Twitter. I might also put it up on my DeviantArt as well, or I'll put a link to it on DeviantArt. So yeah, that is all I really have time for. I'm actually getting quite tired. It's quite late. Well, it's getting quite late anyway. And there are other things I want to do this evening as well. I usually stream for 2 hours anyway, so yeah, I'm going to hang up this stream. Thanks for coming, Azalon Wings. Much appreciated that someone watches, and I'm not just kind of talking to nobody. So yeah, this if people miss this stream, obviously it will be up on my YouTube channel within, give or take, 24 hours of streaming. I need to download the file, obviously, check to make sure it's alright, and then upload it to YouTube. So yeah, with that, I shall catch you guys later. I'll obviously I'll post up on Twitter, I'll announce on Twitter and on DeviantArt when I plan on streaming next. It might not be next Friday. It depends. So yeah, I shall see you guys later, and have fun.